right straight down the middle. Then it started to hook just a wee, wee bit. And that's when my caddy lost sight of it.
Good morning, State College. It is the Golfin' Around Radio Hour. The heavens above have opened up, and the skies are blue, and the greens are green, and the fairways, well, they are drying out eventually. I'm your host, Randy the Tank Tantlinger. You can hear us every weekend, Saturday and Sunday mornings right here on ESPN. State College, baby. We got a great show for you this week, so put your feet up and get a Arnold Palmer on the way to the golf course. Some of you guys are probably even, and ladies, and juniors, are probably just getting back in from the golf course right about now. I know some of you love to get up and go frustrate yourself for 9 holes and get out of there for the weekend. Got a great show for you this week. We're going to head down to Arnold Palmer's old stamping grounds at Bay Hill in Orlando. I was down there a couple weeks ago right after the Bay Hill Invitational. We had a great, great time. Beautiful golf course. Of course, Arnold is missed these days. We're going to take a little tour of the Bay Hill golf course. Then, boy, we're going bon ton roulette. What are you talking about, Tank? Bon ton roulette. Let the good times roll. That's how them Cajuns down there in New Orleans talk. So we're going to go down and visit the, Audubon Golf Trail in Louisiana, where they got about 15 different golf courses, lots of fun, and you're just going to have a good time while you're down there. Hey, but before we get to that, we're going to talk, old Steve Jones was over talking to Coach Pat about the upcoming Coaches versus Cancer golf tournament a couple weeks, and you can participate in that and check all that out. Go to PennStateHoopsClub.com, PennStateHoopsClub.com, and that'll link you right to the Coaches versus Cancer golf tournament. They do great work over there. Coach Pat, Scott Walker, but our very own Steve Jones sat down with them this week to learn a little bit more about the golf tournament.
And the Coaches versus Cancer golf tournament will be here. 31st will be the reception. The 1st will be the tournament itself. There's a golden opportunity now to clear certain barriers here that makes a big difference for cancer research.
Well, first of all, it's all year long, and it raises great awareness. Obviously, I've gone through it with my brother.
Sure.
I've had friends. When it hits your family, it stings. So you really want to be a part of this. And maybe it's not financially, but maybe it's volunteering. Maybe it's just being a part of it in some way. And that's what we're asking for. And we have a chance to surpass $3 million, which is pretty amazing, pretty fantastic, what this gentleman to my left has taken over the last couple of years to spearhead not just the golf tournament, May 31st, June 1st, but the reverse call drawing, the 5K. There's an event next week. I'm going to throw it to you right now, the event next week. Why don't you go over some of the things we're doing?
Yeah, well, thanks, Coach. And like you mentioned, it's all year long. We start planning January 1 through December 31, so we have events all year long. Golf tournament is certainly our heavy hitter. But next week, what we're doing is we're inviting our heavy sponsors, our big, long-time donors, to an event at Center Hills Country Club next Thursday at 5 p.m. Coach, you're a member there, right?
No, I'm not.
Oh, well, you're on the sheet.
Well,
you might be now.
My wife is.
Maybe we signed you up. Congratulations.
We'll go with the athlete in the family.
Yeah, no doubt.
But like you mentioned, I'm proud to serve with a bunch of really good people on our committee. It starts with the committee first and foremost, with your leadership. Wendy Pelkey, Mike Martin, Elena Pyle, Michael Schaefer, who's videotaping
behind the camera, Michael.
Right now.
I know, really.
And just the rest of the folks on our committee. Rose is standing back there too. But there's a lot of good people that make everything happen. And there's no way we would have gotten to where we've gotten to now. It's year 23 of CVC at Penn State. Year 23, the 22nd annual golf tournament. It goes
back to Bruce.
I know.
Yep.
And then Jerry, and then Ed, and then the Steve Greers of the world.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have just done an awesome job.
So we're the ones that get to celebrate surpassing $3 million net this year, and we're going to get there. We are not going to.
You know what? And that's a good word, right? Celebrate. We did a lot of celebrating over the last couple of weeks, Penn State basketball, and we need to celebrate the loved ones that we've lost, and the ones that are battling currently, and the successes. They're survivors that are out there. Every year I hear another success story. Mitchie,
Yeah,
right?
Mitch, he's
Kathy
a great-
Drysdale.
Yep.
I've heard more
Freddie
and
Del
more.
Grosso for years.
Freddie's still battling.
Freddie's
And
still
by the way, he
battling.
was at MSG.
I know.
The guy's a trooper. But you're starting, the money that we're raising is really helping people locally.
Right.
Which
That's
is
the
really
key.
exciting.
And that's the key. I was fortunate to sit across the table from Doreen Perks about a
Awesome.
month
Yeah.
ago or so and hand her a check. And that's the money that we raised as a CVC unit. And I was able to hand her a check. And boy, did that feel good. Because you remember Bob Perks.
No doubt.
Oh, my
Great deal
goodness.
of influence.
Doreen's the best.
She's awesome.
Doreen's incredible. In fact, I was telling a story when went to Milwaukee for Marquette. And Bob Perks was working in sports information. He got himself locked in the media room, couldn't get out, and never saw the second half of the game.
That's a little bit of a problem.
that's a slight problem. That position.
Were there cell phones back then? I gotta
No,
think there
this is-
wasn't.
this is
right?
the 80s.
Think about this.
Maybe one of those
There
real
was
big
no, because
ones.
you're, I'm solution driven. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Zach
They were
Morris.
called bag phones,
That's right.
right? I guess you can't.
Well,
You
I
can't
go-
get in touch with anybody.
I
You
go
can bang
back-
on the door.
I go
It's
back
not
to
gonna
Rotary.
work.
I go back to Rotary.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact,
Yeah.
I knew Samuel Morse.
Yeah. You've been working here that long.
Exactly right. Now you mentioned it's an all-year thing. The 5K just took place a couple of weeks ago.
Coach ran with a stroller.
I'm still in a little
How's
bit
your knee?
of discomfort.
Mike Martin was
Would be
joking around. He saw you flying past him pushing a stroller on Curtin Road.
No, that's incorrect. Mike Martin is a stallion.
He
That
is a
guy's a
stud.
stud. He's still running, I think. He's the Energizer Bunny, man.
always
That guy's unreal. But yes, I pushed my 2.5-year-old son, and I tell you what I didn't realize is this place is really hilly.
Yeah.
This
You-
campus is
welcome.
really,
Yeah.
really hilly, and I was like, wait, another hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another hill, and then another hill. But I made it. I did it, and I really enjoyed it. What a great event. We got to continue to grow that.
Agreed.
And then the reverse card drawing takes place in September. It's
Yep.
always at Medler Field, Lebrano Park, and that's another major fundraiser which people should start planning for
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
Thursday, September 20th.
Yeah.
But that's a great event with Danny Rollis and Kerry Bestwick and Jamie Bestwick and all the folks from the Bestwick Foundation. Give away a car, all the food and drink you can eat at the ballpark, one of our major fundraising events.
Well, I want to get into that for a second. You talk about Jamie Bestwick and his foundation. We just talked about Doreen Perks. That is, to me, the equivalent of actually handing somebody money that needs money.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what it is. And now it may be in the form of a chair, it may be in the form of a bill,
A
whatever.
van, whatever it may be.
But that's literally you making a direct donation.
So let's get detailed here. So if somebody needs a ride, they can get a ride. If somebody needs
Calls.
gas,
Yeah.
tolls,
if they need somewhere to stay,
somewhere to hotel, travel.
rent,
you know, so
if they need their utilities
that-
covered,
that-
that's what we do.
I think
why
that's
we
what
raise
people
money.
need to understand. Let's take this another level. The details, not just okay. We hand them a check. What do they do with the check? If they need food on the way,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of things that these finances go to.
Well, you talk about Bob Perks. This is how it started.
right.
Bob needed a lift chair.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right at the end, I remember being at Bobby's house, and he was showing me the chair, and people had donated to help make that happen. That's how this got started.
Right.
The practicality of what do you need.
So think of what you're doing. You just told two Bob Perks stories, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do. We need to come together and share these great stories, these funny stories, and these great. Maybe we'll shed a tear, but we're gonna laugh too, and we're gonna have a good time. And we're gonna raise a glass.
Well, everybody's been affected, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt. So let's celebrate. Go back to that word.
Absolutely.
You know, guys like Bob and guys that are here, like Mitchie and like Kathy, and guys that are not here, like my brother, and things of that nature. I think they're the things that we need to celebrate and raise awareness for.
Yeah, and it's because look, when Mitch was celebrated on the floor, and also when you gave him the jersey at the banquet, that was great because you could still throw your arms around Mitchie because Mitchie survived.
There's no doubt. And there was a picture, even when we lost a few games that year, there was a picture of him going, beat cancer, and he's in his hospital bed. And it inspired me, like, you know what, I don't have it that bad. Yeah, we lost the game, but I still have my health. My children have their health, and my wife has her health. And, I mean, we got to remember what's important here. And Mitchie inspired us. He really did. And for us to be able to cut down nets in the Garden in New York, and him cut down a piece of the net, man, what a great way to go out.
Right, exactly. With the golf tournament itself, hole sponsors, tee sponsors, overall sponsors.
You better get signed up today.
Okay. Let's
I was
let's
looking
talk
at the
about
numbers this morning. We are pushing the limit on golf foursomes. 5
Awesome.
rounds for this.
Man, that's great news.
Right,
Yeah, we're
that's
doing well.
That's great news, but people can still get a sign up there and get something,
Yeah, we
some
still have space
sponsorship
available.
that makes a difference.
Maybe somebody can golf with me. I'll golf this year. Maybe
Yeah?
somebody can golf with me. What do you
Your
think?
sticks out, Coach?
No. They're somewhere in the basement. I got to take them out. You know, this job is very demanding. But I can't wait for the event Thursday night. That is an awesome. It's a premier event.
Back to the ballpark.
It's awesome. Oh, it's going back here?
Yeah, back
We're
in
not
the
over
ballpark.
Blue White. We're going to move over here.
Field this year, yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
And that's a great event. You know, stylish. It's awesome.
Thanks.
And then the next day is just
It's
the
just
best.
golf all day. So if you want to get involved, you were saying there's still sponsorship slots
right.
available. It's cvcpennstate.org. We could use volunteers.
What is it again?
cvcpennstate.org.
Okay, I'm just making
We
sure.
could use more volunteers. We always could. We could use more sponsors. Always could. And get your golf team signed up today.
And
because
come
we're gonna
back and see
peak out.
some of the former players. That's former
Yes.
basketball players, former football players, former athletes, coaches. Hopefully, Coop. Maybe Coach Cooper will do it this year.
The momentum since all this happened for this basketball team. They played a great month of March, 7-1, including winning their last 5. Have you seen the signs that it tells everybody that you are on your way to the next rungs of the ladder in the climb?
I'd like to think so.
How'd you like that question?
Yeah, that was very the climb. It got back to the climb because we're still climbing. As we know, the climb never ends.
Yeah.
It never ends. I think so. I mean, the response that I've gotten from Penn Staters and the national exposure that it gave to us has been pretty amazing. Obviously, we're in a major recruiting period right now, and you know, people are very interested in Penn State basketball, and they love the fact Lamar and Josh, Mike, John, Jamari, all these guys are coming back, and they realize that we're going to have a very good team next year as well. And the guys are already working hard. So it's been great. The letters, the fan letters, the email letters have been so positive and supportive about the program and what we did in the Garden and some of the games we won at Notre Dame, at Marquette, and Mississippi State, Utah. Just a great run into that championship. So it was a lot of fun. I look forward to watching the games because you're in it as a head coach, so you really can't enjoy it or cherish it. So when I start to watch it again, I think I'll probably enjoy it even more.
Yeah.